Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. Today is going to be the third video, kind of been spacing it out, of my fixed blade collection. And this little grouping of knives is going to kind of be the mid-size to the larger size to just the mid-size really knives, and a few small ones thrown in here too. And then from here we'll move into some littler guys. But this will be number 3 of question mark. I still don't know if it's going to be 4 videos or 5, but this will be video number 3. And we're going to start out with this little knife from T.Kell, which is a little banger. It's one of my favorite TKL EDC knives. It's the TKL Raider. It's a wonderful little 80 CRV knife with a nitrate boron coating. Really strong coating. Looks stonewashed, but it's just done so well. You've got this tall flat grind, about a half flat, very thick blade stock, so you've got a very piercy, pokey tip. You've got what I consider a full four-finger knife with a little bolt that you can put a lanyard hole through there, or a lanyard through there. It's very slicey. As are all the T.Kells, and they're very pokey. Got a nice swedge there on the point. Just a really nice mid-sized knife. So when I say mid-sized knife, compare that to the Benchmade bug out, and it's going to come up right around the same size as that Benchmade bug out, or in regular length. It is going to be about a 7 1/8 inch knife with a 3.5 inch blade, 3 1/4 inch cutting area, and the handle is going to be right inside of 4 inches from right here to right here. Just a great knife. T.Kell grips are done very well. You've got these natural little areas that just give you extra purchase. Just a great knife, great shape. Sheaths have great retention and have a little thumb push off there. But that is the TKL Raider. And moving on, we will go to look at a T.Kell that looks very similar. This is the outer Limitless Accomplice. This is an even larger knife. So it's very similar to the Raider in the way that it looks. USA made knife, absolute laser beam. I mean, laser beam. I love this knife. It's a therapeutic slicer, an absolute hard use poker, wood splitter, campfire knife, hiking knife, tactical knife, you name it. This knife is up for just about anything. I've beat the absolute shit out of it, and it is as good as it was. Takes an edge amazingly well. Absolutely slides through material. Fantastic knife. It's going to be a little bit bigger than our bug out. So when we look at this knife, this is probably on this list going to be maybe the second, or around the tied for the second biggest knife. And it comes in at 8 1/8 with a 4 inch blade, 3 3/4 inch cutting area, and a 4 1/8 inch grip. So again, full sized, just a good beefy user, great tool. Again, fantastic sheath, great retention, great thumb push, easy to release. Has several different mounting options the way that this Kydex is done. So you can carry a horizontal belt strap, you can do ulti clips. You'll see a lot of different carrying methods on the T.Kells that are in this group. But this is the outer Limitless Accomplice. It is a banger. And moving on, we come to this little guy. This is a little beast of a knife. This is the T.Kell Combatant, one of my absolute favorites. It is also going to be a small knife, a little bit smaller than the Raider, about a 1/2 inch smaller than the bug out, which means it's going to come in roughly 7 inches with a 3.5 inch blade. Three and an 1/8 inch cutting area. Inside grip 3 1/8. Outside grip 3 1/2. So that's 3 1/8, 3 1/2. But guys, this is a laser beam that has even a more distinctive point, a little bit shorter grind. But an absolute laser beam. And guys, this one's Nitro V, sharpened up great. You can see these milling lines here, these grind lines that are CNC assisted or CNC created. Great little knife. This is a Slurpee Saver Extreme. Very tactical, yet very practical. I'm a big fan. I love this little guy. And this is the T.kell Combatant. One of my favorites. So moving on, we come to another T.kell. And this is the TKL Nightstalker CG, which stands for combat grade. So this is a unique knife. I never knew how I'd feel about a finger ring, but guys, this thing does not impede on your grip at all. This one's EDC V2 as well. This one is just an absolute laser beam with a very acute point, a splinter digger of a point. You've got about a 3/4 flat grind on that. You've got a grip with this little poon or this little harpoon that absolutely feels fantastic. I mean, this knife in so many different grips feels like an absolute winner. The ring could be used for several different things, but it makes it, what I've noticed is you can really hold on to the knife. It's not going anywhere. It really improves your grip, your overall purchase. And this little guy, this little Nightstalker, combat grade, I think it's CG combat grade, is an absolute cool little knife. This was sent for me to check out along with the next one that I'm getting ready to show you, and I'm just stoked to try them out. The next one I'm getting ready to show you is available. This should release on Saturday, and this knife is in stock right now. So this is the TKL Nighthawk. About the same size, and I did not give you guys a size of the Nightstalker. The Nightstalker is going to come in at about 7 1/16, and this is going to come in right about 7 3/4. So it's a little bit longer. Handle is exactly the same size. Your difference is in your tip and the blade there. Fantastic ergos on both of these knives. The Nighthawk again is in stock right now in ADCRV. This one's in AEBL, but this is an amazingly tall, flat, slicey, and as you guys know with Tantos, it is an absolute stabby, poker, sticker, jabber Nighthawk. And again, I will leave a link for as many of these knives as I can in the description. But T.Kell Knives, this is the Nighthawk. It is in stock. It has the same little finger choil or finger ring, but again, it does not impede my grip at all. It's got the same harpoon, very similar to the Nightstalker, just has a much more aggressive, what I think is a wonderful tip. So that is the T.Kell Nighthawk. You can grab one of these today. Moving on, we come to a knife that is one of my favorite urban EDC knives. This is my Vero Engineering Axon fixed blade. So I've got an Axon folder. The Axon fixed blade is a little bit thinner version of the Vero Axon folder. It is an M390 also. Has that wonderful satin blade. It's got the traditional Vero choil there, or hole, blade hole, or indention, whatever you want to call it. And guys, this is a slicey beast. It doesn't have much tip. It's more of a cutter. But this is a knife, like a lot of the others I've shown you, that could definitely be a primary carry, right? I mean, it's definitely large enough. It definitely could replace or take the place of your folder if you wanted it to. It wouldn't have to. Comes with that really tight sheath. I like to carry it in an ulti clip in my pocket. But that is the Vero Axon fixed blade, OEM by Bestech. Great knife. Moving on, we come to my concept Corvette. I picked this knife up a little less than a year ago. I saw it when it came to White Mountain Knives. This is the Corvette S in a little bit of upgraded pattern. You can get this knife starting at about $65 in my Carta 14C. This one I want to say was right around $99. It comes in this kind of Asian fat carbon fiber type stuff and S35 VN. What amazed me about this knife is how comfortable it is as a fixed blade in the hand, and how devastatingly sharp that tall flat is. Whoops. As I keep failing it. But it is an absolute cutter. It's a chopper. It is a great cardboard slayer, box breaker downer, box destroyer, because you've got that tall but robust flat grind blade that gives you a lot of traction here on your thumb. It'll take too much time, but we can cut off that. Whoops. So very, very, very slicey. Great knife. Again, S35 VN. These go for about $100, but you can get them for a lot less if you want 14C. And my Carta, well, I think G10. This is the concept Corvette S. That's just tape residue on my blade. From that Nightcore tape. But yeah, concept Corvette S, a great little mid-size, small, medium EDC. It's going to come in shorter than the Benchmade Bug Out by quite a bit, but you're going to have about close to the same cutting edge. This guy is going to measure in at 6 3/4 inches with a, we'll call it a 3-inch blade, 2.5 inch cutting area. Inside dimensions, we'll call it 3 1/4. Outside dimensions, 4 1/4. So 3 1/4 to right here, 4 1/4 if you want your finger to dangle over. And it does have a lanyard. Great little knife for my hand. Koch design, little collaboration. Great sheath with retention. I've carried this both with pocket dropper ulti clips. I like to carry this one on my back just because it's a square blade. It's easy to resheath without looking at it. And I carry it with these horizontal straps. So moving on, we have the Bradford Knives GCleaver. They make a G-necker, which is a drop point. This is a little simple, understated L-Max, chunk of L-Max, made by Bradford Knives in the USA. Very simple grip. One style grip. You've got jimping here for your thumb. You've got a thick handle. You've got a thin blade with a nice little tip. Hold on, guys. I apologize. And this is called their Natrix finish, which is kind of a stonewashy finish. Let's see if I can get this paper apart. And this LMAX blade is super, super sharp. You've got this really nice point that is a detail cutter out the yin yang. Great little knife. It would benefit from a lanyard because it is a 3-finger knife for me. I can get 4 on it. If I had a short lanyard coming out of there, it would even give me more. But this is about a $99 skeletonized knife, made in the USA, made out of LMAX, a little small guy. So this guy's going to come in smaller than our mini bug out. And if we were going to measure it out, we would see that it comes in at 5 3/4 with roughly a 2 3/4 inch blade, 2.5 inch cutting area, 3 inch grip right here. So 3 inches from the inside. Nice thick stock, thins up through the blade. Nice little flat ground, Natrix finished LMAX blade. The super nice clip. I put an ulti clip on it, and it's got a great Kydex sheath. And then we come up, sorry about that guys, Tippy is bound and determined to be part of this, but this is a Jason Grant JKal. This 100% custom, 100% unique. I don't even know where to start talking about it. It's got a wonderful micarta handles with these mosaic pins. You've got a hole here to help the sheath retention. You've got a hole in the blade for weight. You've got a little sharpening choil here in case you want to sharpen that top. Sharpening choil here. S35VN. Fits my hand like a glove. Absolute laser. Absolute stabber. Poker. Slurpee saver extraordinaire. Probably one of the most unique knives in my collection. I really like it. It locks up like a champ. I carry it with a single strap on my belt by my appendix. It's going to come in right at 6 1/4 inches roughly, with 3 inch blade, right over 2 1/4 inch cutting area, with right over a 3.5 inch grip right here. So if we're going to look at this next to the Baby Banter, it's going to be right about the same size as the Benchmade, not Baby Banter, the Baby Bug Out. So that is a Jason Grant custom JKal. We'll see a lot more small JKals coming up down the road. And here's another mid-size to larger knife. This is one of the first fixed blades I got. This is my Esee 3 in S35VN, because I did not at the time, was not looking for something to beat up in the woods, even though this you can beat up in the woods. I was looking for something that I thought might be my first EDC knife, which this is a great EDC fixie for a replacement knife. But as I've come to learn, it is a bigger knife. It still serves a very good purpose. In my collection, I do use it camping, I do use it hiking, I do find it to be a fantastic specimen. I love the stonewash blade. I did a scale upgrade and picked up some scales to get some contoured scales, made it much more comfortable. The knife fits my hand perfectly. It is a larger knife for an EDC knife, so you can see there that it's going to be larger than the Benchmade Bug Out, which means if I bring the tape measure out, it is going to come in right over 8 inches with a 3 1/4 inch blade, 3 3/4 inch blade, right under 3.5 inch cutting area, and then inside grip 4 inches. If you use the choil, you've got 4 3/4, which is where I like to grip the knife. It just feels great. This is the Esee 3 S35VN. great retention. You have an ulti-clip on it. Works very, very well. Moving on, got a few more. We have got the Joey Roman Mini Tanto. Beautiful little knife. Little handmade knife. Deep hollow ground, compound ground chisel with a beautiful boa micarta handle. Just got a shredding little tip. Cuts very well, especially on meat, sandwiches, wood, things like that. Sorry guys, I'm having to fight Tippy off. But that is the Joey Roman Mini Tonto. Cool knife, little chisel grind that I think works really well. Moving on, we come to a little knife by a little company in the US called Carry Development. I've been following them, kind of watching their knives since I was gifted this knife. I believe Lord Needham might have made this knife available to me in one of our deals because he wasn't carrying it and he knew I liked little fixed blades. But this little knife is very unique, very small. It's got rich light handles. I'm not doing it very good justice because I'm trying to avoid Tippy. Rich light handles, nice T15 hardware. You've got this really nice hand done jimping on the spine. The knife is small, very able, fits in my hand very well, cuts nicely, has a great sharpening choil, a little bit smaller than the baby bug out. You do have a nice lanyard hole there. If we were to measure this guy, we would see that it comes in right over 5.5, right under 5 3/4, with a 2.5 inch blade, with a 2 1/4 inch cutting area, and a handle that gets you to 3 1/4 from here to here. So 3 1/4 right there. Fantastic sheath, locks up well. I carry it at an angle in my pocket. It's a winner. Two more to look at, guys. And one of them is kind of a trick fixed blade. This is my Civivi Tonus? What's it called? My Civivi, it's called something. The Tafunus, something like that. But it's a combination of a punch dagger. It's in Nitro V. It's got aluminum handles. So in this position, it is for all practical purposes, a little fixed blade. It's the way I use it most times because I don't need a push dagger. But it's got a tall, flat ground blade. Works very well for breaking down materials, cardboard, like same old that I always talk about. It's also got a very piercy tip. Got a little bit of a splinter digger, and it has the ability to use as a push dagger if that's something that you need to do. But the other thing that I think is convenient about this shape and the fact that it has a transformer type style is it carries in this T position, which when you carry it on your belt, kind of like my little Bark River, it's not noticeable. I mean, it sits up so high on your hip that you don't know that it's there. Therefore, I find it's a great little kind of, I guess you call it a hybrid fixed blade because it's not really a fixed blade, but it operates as one. And when I take it out of its sheath, I just simply pull it like that, use it. When I go to resheath it, I tee it back up. Great knife. Last one in this part of the collection is probably one of the biggest ones and one of the most recent. This came to me as part of the collection that County Comm sent me out to check out. And this is their Merac, which is the same brand that they make their lights and other stuff under. It's their government contractor. This is the Ready for Action. Ready for a knife, which is the Ready for Action knife. What it is it's a huge chunk of treated D2 with a spear point blade, Very thin, grippy G10 handles. Nice little lanyard that comes with it. This knife is very economical. It is an absolute laser, and I guarantee you it would have no problem stabbing it through the front door of your house or the side door of your car. It is an absolute beast. It's not light. It's not designed to be. Again, ready for R4A, fixed blade, ready for action. It is that. Got a nice sharpening choil, very nice flat ground blade, very nice jimping. Got a numbered series here. This is 156 out of 500. G10 scales. Great jimping where you want it, and a handle that just fits right. You've got aggressive jimping on the thumb, jimping on your finger, and you could put this knife through work. And it's going to cost you less than 70 bucks. Comes with a great Kydex sheath, fantastic retention. It came with a really nice, what do you call it? The big square clip that clips on your belt. I took that off and put these belts on, a Trex lock, I guess is what it's called. And I put these straps on because it's a little bit more minimalistic. But huge fan in this knife, the ready for action. But when you look at the different fixed blades as we kind of go through my collection, and we're getting ready to get into the ones that I keep by me kind of the most often, which you're going to find are going to be, more likely than not, they're going to be my smaller fixed blades, the ones that I carry pretty much all the time. But guys, I've got more fixed blade knives than I have sense, but I enjoy sharing them with you guys. It's part of my collecting that I never thought I'd get into. I had no desire for a fixed blade knife for the longest time. It was something that just kind of grew on me. And now I can tell you that I honestly love them. I appreciate the way they're built. I'm a huge fan. Guys, thank you for watching this video. There'll be more of this fixed blade collection dive to come out. One, probably two more videos, but this is number 3. I hope you guys enjoy it. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're so inclined and you haven't had a chance yet, please hit that subscribe button, that bell notification icon. But look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your hearts. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.